31. Such mental distractions are all followed by dukkha, suffering, sorrow, or a feeling of emptiness, depression or nervousness, unsteadiness of limbs and irregular breathing. These are all signs of early stress. All these signs, suffering, what are the impact of dukkha, of pain that you have, of problem, of the mental distortion that you have? The result is feeling of emptiness, depression or nervousness, unsteadiness of limbs and irregular breathing. Common signs of stress, advanced stress. Number 32. To counteract and remove such obstacles, mental inflictions and distractions, the only way is abhyasa. Now it's repeating this word again and again. Constant, intensive and repetitive practice of the following. Now it's becoming specific. He has already given you one. First one was Om. The second one now he says, practice of the following. Maitri, friendliness. To befriend everybody. It does not mean, befriend does not mean that you invite everybody to your house. Does not mean that you entertain everybody's nonsense, no. If somebody is nuisance, he is nuisance, but you don't hate him. You pity him, that man, this guy is such a nuisance. You don't hate. You don't hate. Second one, compassion. Karuna in Sanskrit is not a matter of helping someone. In one of the texts found in Bali, we have translated Dvipantara series, 3 big books, large books. Reaching out before someone asks you for help. Can you reach out? Can you see? Can you observe? Can you be so sensitive towards the suffering of the others that you see someone and you reach out? Do not wait until the person is asking you for help. So this is what I keep reminding our friends here, Eddie, Herni, Rene, Yashwan, Rai, that you must take care of each and every guest staying there. Something happens, you must know. Someone is not out from the room, just find out. Are you all right? Are you okay? Don't wait until someone is asking you, I am having some problem, I need to go to doctor. Find out if he wants to go to doctor, she wants to see a doctor. We have doctors coming here almost every second day. So, to reach out, I always keep reminding them, I always keep reminding everybody in our organization. Reach out, don't wait, that is compassion. Joyfulness. Joyfulness is a true joyfulness. We have a saying, I have a saying, it's there near the Happy Buddha. Be joyful and share your joy with others. And there was a young man, 25 years ago maybe, he was still studying, student. Now he's still with us, not here in Bali. He says, when I hurt someone, I feel happy. I'm joyful. And I'm following your teaching. Be joyful. I'm joyful. When I'm hurting someone, I'm joyful. I said, okay, fine. First of all, you have forgotten the second part of my saying. be joyful and share your joy with others. If somebody else is doing the same to you, will you accept it? And he started to think. He didn't come to for meditation for next few weeks. Now he's a changed person. It's not a matter of being joyful also. It's a matter of sharing your joy, not stopping at being joyful. Equanimity, that is being indifferent towards all dualistic experiences, such as pleasure and pain and the like. Equanimity, you feel the pain if you are going through some problem. I've been bedridden for last 5-6 days. Feel the pain. I am sick. There was a time when a journalist came, and we were quite popular then in Jakarta because we were appearing in all kind of magazines. They had not got bored of me. So I was feeling not well, and I still came down. Right now I feel very weak. I still come down because I can. Until yesterday I couldn't. And then he saw me, I was sneezing, I was having bad cold, and I put a masker. He said, "Why do you have to do this?" I'm surprised. I said, "Why?" He said, "You're supposed your identity in the market now. Market, not society, market. You are identified in the market as a healer. Okay, so how can a healer be sick? If you show that you are sick, who will come to you to be healed?" I said, "Well, this is a natural thing. A natural thing. I know Buddha, he was also sneezing. And don't tell me that all those great beings, I will not mention the names because they'll edit me anyway. All those great beings, don't tell me that they never suffered from diarrhea, they never suffered from cold, they never suffered from fever, they never had any problem. No. Just be yourself. You are sick, you are sick." I am sharing my healing experience which happened to me, and I think it is beneficial, but I don't have to pretend that I am healthy all the time. That will not be the yogic style. Thus the chitta or mind core is clarified or so cleansed that it is no longer distracted by the triggers without and within. If you practice all this, then your chitta will be okay. So he is not even talking yet about asanas. Asanas will come later. If you can do this, then you are all right. But if you cannot do that, 34, and I must read this because a lot of misunderstanding is here. Or by expulsion, exhalation, and retention or holding of prana, the life force, by regulating one's breathing. Patanjali is living 2500 years ago, minimum. And in his days, people are not as rascals as we are now. If you cannot do this, do this. People are not that, disturbed in their mind. And really he is right. If you just do your pranayama properly, all these qualities will automatically come to you. But I have tried. Over the years, I did that. From 1991, the moment I was healed, until 1996, 7, maybe 8. I did not care for verse 33, I cared for verse 34. I said, okay, let's do this, let's do all the exercises, and by doing that, they will all get all these qualities. I failed. Then I realized, and my master, he scolded me. He said, you are bringing a 2,500 years old dish to be eaten now. It is rotten. You get food poison. The dish that was good then is not good now. So you cannot do this. And what is needed now is the combination of all this. And based on that combination, we have created what we call aim yoga. But before practicing this aim yoga also, which we are doing here, while you practice, of course, those of them who have no chance to come and practice here in the ashram, this book is supposed to tell them that, look, you have to study this one first. The thing is, right now the challenges are different. Just look at 25 years ago. Berries and apples were still fruits, and we were enjoying them. Now berries and apples are no longer fruits. Even lemon now is becoming a yoga pant. What is that? Lemon lulu? I don't know what it is. So all these fruits, they have become complicated things. We are having so many different issues now than 20 years back, 25 years back. Keep changing. I have written at least 3 or 4 versions of Bhagavad Gita. Not versions, but understanding for youth, for modern times, for different set of people. I yet have to write that in English. I hope I have the time before I die. I yet have to write, because that will be my greatest contribution yet, to have Bhagavad Gita in English, so that you understand exactly and you are not fooled by people. We have to stop at this now.